Hey guys, I'm switching over my overflow bottle on my B5 plus 4. Just want to show you an easy way of doing it. Put a hose on the end of one of these. I don't know, like a baster. Little hose. Unscrewed the reservoir and tipped it downward. And then I was able to suck all the fluid out, the old coolant. With it tipped down like this, all of it went to this side, and then you can get all of it out and squirt it into like a water bottle or something. So now I should be able to just disconnect these hoses without it making a huge mess and swapping out to this nicer one, hopefully. Also just replace the fuel pressure regulator because it was leaking through the vacuum line here. So it was going into my vacuum system, and basically how I knew, because my boost gauge here kept popping off of this little nipple. I don't know if you could see that. So this was coming off, and I could smell fuel. The car ran pretty much normal, maybe a little bit under fueled where it would start misfiring a little bit here and there, but nothing too obvious. So you pull this clip out right here and then disconnect this hose here. This came off without me actually unscrewing it. It's one of Audi's clamps that are one-time use. So I used a flathead and I pulled this valve off to get out of the way real quick, moved it back, used a flathead screwdriver to pull this metal clip out. It was actually a kind of a pain to put back in because the fuel pressure regulator wants to push outward when you're trying to push it in and then get this clip back in. I was gonna try and reverse the clip to come in on this side and push it that way, but it wasn't really working for some reason, and I ended up kind of bending this tab a little bit, which definitely don't want to do. I was using a flathead to kind of pry right here, but since this is like really soft aluminum, you basically start bending this little tab, which is not good. You do not want to ruin this housing. So I ended up just switching back to how I pulled it out, pushed it in here, which was a complete pain in the ass, to be honest with you. But I got it in. I was able to push this as hard as I could and then shove this clamp in, and eventually it finally went into place after fiddling with it for half an hour, which should have never took that long, but it is what it is. Just wanted to show you this piece on the bottom. This was kind of the trickiest part, is getting this piece off. I ended up just cutting it with a grinder because I don't have a heat gun. If you have a heat gun, you could probably heat this up quite a bit and then just pull it out, hopefully without breaking the plastic 90 elbow right there. Yeah, I kind of chewed it up and then crammed the screwdriver in the cutting where I cut it, and then spread it apart and pulled it out. So that's what I did. You guys can do whatever you want, but it worked for me.